Hey everybody, Zongets 134 here. Welcome to Remember a Hyphen, the show look at comic books, movies, and everything in between. Colin told me to start this. It's kind of weird. He told me to be here, and I set everything up and just start without him. And I'm not really sure why. In fact, I can't remember what we're reviewing tonight, but I'm sure it's...
Oh, Adam, you got Red for Life Day! Hell yeah! We're doing the Star Wars Holiday Special!
Oh no!
Welcome to the show, everybody. I'm Average Joe Squad.
And I suck at 134.
Welcome to Remember to Hyphen, a show where we look at comic books, movies, everything in between. And continuing with Star Wars Month, we are going to review a complete piece of shit.
Actually, all right.
We both wore red for Life Day. I wore the ceremonial robes.
What the fuck are you told me to? You told me to wear red.
Yeah, so I'm sure many are asking, why in fuck's name would you review the Star Wars Holiday
Particularly
Special?
in June, but
It's canon.
yeah, he loves rubbing that in my fucking face.
Yeah, I actually read an entire list to him off a wiki of stuff in both new canon and old canon where this was referenced, so it is still canon.
I mean, especially considering they make some really blatant references to it in Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett.
Solo also had some direct references.
But I know the one that most people remember them like is Mandalorian Book of Boba Fett. Particularly the gun that we saw at the beginning of Book of Mandalorian, and of course the line from Book of Boba Fett. I've rode beasts 10 times this size, and I'm like, oh no.
But yeah, so for those who are not aware, and if you're not in on the biggest joke when it comes to Star Wars,
Especially because, like, this is impossible to find, almost impossible to find, because they've never re-released it.
I mean, thankfully the internet has made it infinitely easier to find. It's on archive in a couple different versions.
Yeah.
There's actually an HD copy of it up on YouTube right now, which I'm like, that's fucking amazing. But
Yeah.
The Star Wars Holiday Special was a variety show they did for the holidays in 1978, 1 year after Star Wars A New Hope was released. And it was just kind of something to like capitalize on the absolute craze that Star Wars was going through at the time.
Also give people something to look forward to with when they finally got to doing Empire.
Yeah, but the problem is, it turned out terrible. Completely, because not like you go into it thinking it's a Star Wars, it's just gonna totally be Star Wars. Except you have all these 70s like big names at the time, so like B. Arthur's in it, Art Carney's in it.
Yeah.
The Jefferson Starship.
Harvey Korman from that one TV show with the lady. That's real helpful, I know. Carol Burnett show.
I was about to say that.
The Carol Burnett show.
Yeah, and already, if you can't get why this went wrong from what we just told you, I don't know what to tell you. But there was also a lot of behind-the-scenes shit that was going on. Mark Hamill had actually just been in a car crash.
Yeah, that's why he looks like a Ken doll in part of this.
Yeah, because he actually almost lost his nose. It's why he looks a little different going from episode 4 to episode 5.
Yeah.
Is because he was in a bad car crash, and he had to have, like, surgery to get himself to look halfway normal again.
In fact, that's actually the whole reason they had him
get attacked by the Wampa in the beginning of episode 5. It was kind of like to cover that up.
Yeah.
Give it an in-universe reasoning, but this is also the only time in the filmed stuff for Star Wars that all the characters reappear with their episode 4 outfits.
Yeah, actually.
Like, obviously, if you include, like, the Marvel comics and stuff, that obviously changes it. But in terms of stuff that was filmed with the actual original actors and actresses, this is the only time that happens.
Because like I think the only person who kind of rewears the outfit is Luke in episode 5 when but that's just because he's wearing the X-wing outfit for most of the beginning. Yeah, and Han.
Han's outfit doesn't really change that much from episode to episode.
Even Lando wears it. Just kind of weird and uncomfortable.
Yeah. And then probably the biggest contribution to canon in this, the two biggest contributions to canon with the Star Wars Holiday Special are the introduction of Chewbacca's family,
as well as the home planet of the Wookiees,
which... Fun fact, when they were doing episode 3, they had to follow the design that Kashyyyk had in this because it technically was canon.
Yeah.
Which is still wild to think about. And also, this is the first introduction of Boba Fett.
Yeah, which I'm sure a lot of people are like, no, it wasn't. I'm like, yeah, it was.
Yeah. It's wearing a totally different color set than what he would wear in Empire, but this is the first.
Actually, it's more or less
appearance of him.
and also more or less what the Mandalorian wears in that TV show is based on kind of his armor here.
I mean, all the armor looks identical.
Well, I mean, yeah, but like the color scheme.
Dude, it's like yellow and blue.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, but like I want to say but like it also like it sometimes comes off as being kind of almost all gray.
Once in a while, like I rewatched this like really recently.
I mean, fair.
So yeah, but this is the first appearance of Boba Fett. Chewbacca's family would actually go on to show up a lot in expanded universe material. Specifically when he dies in the New Jedi Order book series in the first book, Vector Prime.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, they bring an entire fucking planet down on him, and that's what kills him. Well, a moon, technically, but...
Yeah.
Both Chewbacca's son, Lumpy, and his nephew, Lobaka, who is a fucking Jedi, mind you. He's one of Luke's students. Wookiee Jedi is fucking wild. I need more of that shit in canon. Bring that back. I'll pay money.
Yeah.
But they've actually both offered to take up Chewbacca's life debt to Han.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think Han both times was like, no.
No. Yeah. No, yeah.
But this is the first appearance of them, as well as Chewbacca's wife, Mala, and his father, Itchy. All three of them, this is the first time they show up.
Which, I think the books actually give Itchy a bit more less stupid character than he is here, where he wants to watch porn. We'll get to that.
It's not really porn, but that's what it comes off as.
Look, I know that's
as.
what they intended. When you have Grandpa doing this, and also the woman being like, "Oh, we're excited today, aren't we?" I'm like,
kids, go to bed.
yeah.
But yeah, I've always really liked that they showed Chewbacca's family. Like, granted, the stuff they show in the special is not all that great or interesting. Yeah. Especially given it's like the opening is like 20 minutes,
and there's no
of them
subtitles,
talking, and there's no fucking subtitles, so you don't know what the hell they're talking about.
Like, I remember I was watching this because I've seen it before, but I wanted to rewatch it without watching like the 800 reviews of it on YouTube. And I was putting a fan together in my room because it was one of those nights where it was really hot. And I realized I missed the first 20 minutes, and I'm like, oh, I should go back. And I'm like, what the fuck am I talking about? Nothing happens for the first 20 minutes.
But yeah, so there's, it shows them, but like I said, they would go on to do a lot of actually interesting stuff with them throughout the EU afterwards. It's just fucking hilarious that this is where they first show up.
And then are pretty much never referenced again in the movies.
Yeah, well, Mala shows up in Solo, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Which I think is what they consider recanonized.
Yeah.
The holiday special, in addition to the mention in Boba Fett. It's like, I just find it funny that Lucas hated this thing so much and Disney immediately brought it back.
Well, because the thing with Disney is they always want to basically make sure everything Lucas touched or did is canon, because they know that if none of that is referenced, it will make people super fucking mad. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't think any of us are going to mind if you didn't bring up the holiday special.
I just like that it's canon because it's fucking hilarious.
No, it is hilarious. Like,
like when I read the list of stuff that like has referenced the holiday special or characters that first appeared in it was like a page and a half.
Yeah.
Bulleted list of just different stuff. And I remember reading him the whole thing, and he's like, how fucking recent is this? 2022.
Yeah.
He was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Like, no, it's so wild, especially because, like, that's pretty much probably the only positives, too, I think we can probably talk about, because there's not a lot. Before we get into it, let's address what exactly a variety show is for people, because I'm sure not everyone here.
It's something they don't really do anymore.
Yeah, and
where it's like it's fallen out of like popularity. Back in the 70s and the 80s, that was like a really big thing.
Yeah, because like you and I watch old TV a lot, but like some of our audience probably doesn't watch like. But basically, the idea of the variety show, it was kind of in the early days of TV. It was a lot like vaudeville. I just realized I'm gonna have to explain what vaudeville is.
Put it in layman's terms, god damn it.
But basically, well, this is kind of interesting because I think people like a little history of television. But basically, vaudeville was, it would have all these different acts. And it would, you'd have people go on and they do scenes from a play. You'd have like comedians. They put on little like joke parody stuff, and that would be the night.
Basically a fucking podcast.
Yeah, actually.
Basically a podcast.
So in the early days of television, because vaudeville was kind of the last of like before like Broadway and like musical theater became a thing. When TV got started, a lot of vaudeville actors moved over to there, and so most TV would actually be vaudeville or variety shows like that, where they would have like people reenact plays or do productions of a book.
Bands come on in the case of like the Ed Sullivan Show.
Like the original live version of Casino Royale was probably a part of a variety show originally, if I remember correctly.
Oh, with Jimmy Bond.
With Jimmy Bond. Which don't go and look for that. It's not very
One day
good.
we'll review that as a complete joke.
Yeah. We need to get back to the James Bond thing, because I think we're still on George Lazenby.
Yeah, well, we did his. We haven't done.
We have to get to
done
Roger Moore at some point. Maybe this September we'll get to that. But and so that's more or less what this is them doing like performances while having the narrative of it taking place in the Star Wars universe. And that's kind of a problem.
It's a lot of like tonal shift, honestly. Like for me, like the stuff that's like legitimately Star Wars is okay. It's slow as fuck, but it's still Star Wars. And then when you go into this other stuff, it's like it almost like by the time you get done with it, you forget what you're watching.
Yeah. Like I remember when we spent 20 minutes with that fucking weird four-armed alien making the fucking roast, and then it smash cuts to Chewie and Han outrunning TIE fighters, and I'm like, no, but what do we know about the roast? How do we know if the roast got cooked? Chewie's not going to be upset. Is going to be upset if she overcooked the roast.
But yeah, and also a lot of the stuff they use, like in terms of footage here, is straight up reused from episode 4.
Yeah.
The one scene though that is interesting is with Vader and that officer walking.
Yeah.
Was actually a cut scene from 4, and they went back and overdubbed new audio on top of it.
Yeah. The other big problem with this movie is they do not explain at all what the fuck this holiday is.
Yeah, which it again, the EU, once again to the rescue, has explained what Life Day is.
Yeah.
But the show, however, does a terrible job explaining it.
Because they're just like, well, it's Christmas, you'll figure it out. Although this is weird.
So I think it was Thanksgiving when this aired.
Yeah, like
it was Thanksgiving.
But like,
so it wasn't even. It's normally associated with a Christmas holiday, but it's not a fucking Christmas thing at all.
Yeah, like, I mean, to be fair, that happened a lot. Like a lot of Christmas specials actually got played during Thanksgiving because not a lot of shows wanted to do a Thanksgiving episode, because like that's the holiday. It's like it's really much to talk about. That's why the Thanksgiving special is as rare as it is. But the whole like. Then I kind of get why they did holiday special, because like it's encompassing the holiday, but no, like, and that's really the biggest problem. The other thing is almost every time we cut away, all the cutaways add nothing to the actual plot that is with Chewbacca's family for the most part. Like the only one that is
that guy explaining the tech demo thing, and I'm like, oh my god, I have to fast forward to that. Anytime I've watched this like 5 times, probably because I'm a masochist and I just fucking hate myself. But that's a part of this that I'm always like, I'm gonna fast forward because this adds fucking nothing.
It's not even that funny.
It's not even funny to make fun of, honestly.
Yeah, because the joke is he's like a malfunctioning robot. And like he has to like, he keeps like having to like move his arms in a weird way, or like he has to like, and it's dumb. Like it's one joke and it's not funny. Like for like the first joke.
Yeah.
And they're all like that, or like they'll do stuff like because half the joke, like the cutaways are just they need to distract Lumpy because he's a little kid. So you'll have like the holographic chess thing, but it's like these creatures doing acrobat bullshit for like 5 minutes,
and it's like it doesn't add anything.
The only 2 I think that are kind of worth it is
the Jefferson Starship song.
Well, even then, not really, because that they're using that to distract the Empire guards, because I guess they're looking for Jewish Ewoks or whatever they're doing. But Basically, the two are the animated short that introduces Boba Fett because it actually deals with the cast you came here to watch, and the Tatooine life one just because at least that is kind of interesting just because like it shows like the life on that planet with like some randos played by with B. Arthur as the
when it's in the canteen.
Yeah, in the cantina. Which fun fact, there's a giant rat puppet in there. That's from a movie, and I forget. I think it's called Night of the Giant Rats or something like that. It's literally a movie about like these rats eat like nuclear isotopes and they get like super huge and it's kind of like Night of the Lepus with the bunnies. Which check out Night of the Lepus. It's supposed to be a horror movie about giant rabbits attacking.
It's like a comedy.
But well, yeah, because they're giant fucking rabbits. Like even when a rabbit's super huge, it's not that scary.
It's a rabbit.
The rabbits.
But yeah, I think the highlight for this is definitely, for most people, and probably for me too, is honestly the Boba Fett cartoon.
Yeah.
Which, it shares a lot of the animation style, like cell style, with the Droids cartoon and the Ewoks cartoon that came later in the 80s. Mm-hmm. And it, again, for being the first appearance of Boba Fett, I think it does a really good job setting up the character, because he basically is the same character we see in episodes 5 and 6.
Yeah.
For me, I'm just like, it's like one really good thing in the middle of a basic trash heap.
No, because like I said, most of these cutaways are just so dull. With one exception, and it's still really bad. And it's the part with Grandpa and the Mind Evaporator. So Art Carney comes over and brings like toys for Lumpy and like gadgets for the use around the house.
Because he's working with the rebels.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is, the joke is he's also like a trader for the Wookiee planet.
Which makes sense. That's kind of common.
Which does make sense, but like, a lot of the shit he sells is really stupid. Like the aquarium, the pocket aquarium, and it's got like all these little fish. I'm like, wow, I don't give a shit. But basically, Grandpa has this mind evaporator. I guess it's basically like a VR machine. At least I think that's what the joke is. And he puts this thing in it, and he calls it a wow. And it has this singer whose name escapes me.
I can look it up real quick. She was big in the 70s.
Yeah. And it starts off with her talking really sexually. Like, she's like, I am your fantasy, and I am what you make. And she's like, oh, we're excited today. And again, it cuts back to Grandpa, like, making these weird looks with his mouth, and you can't see his hands where they're at. And it looks really...
Diane Carroll is her name.
Yeah, Diane Carroll. I know she was like a really big...
Yeah, I'm trying to see what she was in. Because I feel bad that it's like, oh, the only thing I've ever seen her in is fucking Star Wars Holiday Special. That's a terrible thing to say.
But, and it's so weird because like it's one, like it reminded me a lot of like those really bad James Bond openings where like they just have women like swimming in like the opening.
So kind of like Goldfinger type stuff.
I call it the Wookiee who loved me, as I like to call it. And it's just,
I'm telling you, besides the Boba Fett cartoon, the best thing is the fucking Jefferson Starship song.
Will you light the sky on fire?
Which I was actually, if you like the song in this, if you watch the clip of them singing it, you can buy it on iTunes. It's released on Jefferson Starship's Gold album, which I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Do they not know the main claim to fame for this song is it's in the fucking Star Wars Holiday Special?
And it's weird, too, because, like, I don't even understand why it's here. It doesn't feel like a Star Wars thing. It's just kind of there.
You get it? It's Jefferson Starship.
Yeah, I get it.
It's sci-fi. It's like poetry. It rhymes. Yeah, that is the only fucking thing I can think of why Jefferson Starship is on there.
I also love how this is the thing that, like, Lucas is personally ashamed of. Not Jar Jar... Or Howard the Duck. This. You know, it like, it's so astounding, too, because, like,
I don't think Harrison Ford has ever watched it either.
No.
'Cause I know he was on one of the late shows.
I
I
say it was
can't remember.
Conan O'Brien.
Yeah, and they fucking pulled it up
He's
and
like-
showed him, and he's just like, no.
Well,
Well, like, 'cause it's the one at the end where he's like, you guys are like family
Lead
to
to
me.
me.
And like, I think Harrison was just like, I had tried to forget about this, man. Why would you show me this?
and the worst part is, like, you watch this and you're expecting to see Luke again and Han and Leia, and you're thinking you're going to see them a lot. And they're in maybe like 5 minutes of this. Like, Chewie and Han the most is because they have a subplot where they're trying to get to Kashyyyk, or Kazook as they pronounce it here, because they didn't have the name finalized yet, I guess.
Wait, do they actually say it's Kazook in this?
Yeah, I think the one Imperial guy, when they at the very end is like, the planet Kazook is now under like martial law.
I would have to go back and look because I don't think that's what they say.
I don't know. It didn't sound like
That and
Kashyyyk.
I'm wondering if you had a really shit dub.
I mean, that's fair, but like,
Just because you said the one you watched was cut to pieces.
yeah, because they cut out a lot of the stuff because they didn't want to get hit with a copyright.
Which should have let me send you the fucking HD version I had.
That was on me. I wanted to watch one where they didn't have the commercials in it because, like, I
because
like
I have the
commercials.
commercials.
Well, I thought I could find, like, when it said no commercials, I didn't know it was going to be that chopped to pieces. But then I was like, well, I'm here. But like I said, maybe I heard them wrong, but I'm pretty sure they don't say Kashyyyk, from what I understand. Yeah. But
The mission truck has arrived.
But so, yeah, because like Han and Chewie have like the most screen, which I love that scene at the very end with him and the stormtrooper, and the stormtrooper, he tricks him into just throwing himself off of.
Oh, I love that too. That shit's hilarious.
Because the stormtrooper's like,
Imperial's finest, ladies and gentlemen.
yeah. And to be fair, those scenes are okay. Like, you know, it's just Han and Chewie and the Falcon. Luke's scene is just really weird. Because, like, he flirts with Mala, and I'm like, bruh. Oh, come on, Mala. Let's have a smile.
R2's in the background like, man, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, and him and R2, like I said, it's there for like a sec. Which I also hate the fact they don't give the name of the operator of R2, because there's a person inside that.
Yeah, and it was when they introduced the cast in the intro. It's just R2D2 as
R2D2, and I'm like,
the fuck, man.
the fuck? There's a person that operates that. Like, you gave the name for the guy who does C-3PO, Anthony Daniels.
Well, the only thing I can think of is they didn't use him in this, and they used the remote control one.
I mean, I guess that's fair, because he's only on here for like what, this and the very end.
So they might have just done that. He might not actually even be in it.
Yeah, I mean,
Let me look this up just to be totally sure. If we're gonna be mad, I want to be mad at something that's actually worth being mad about.
Like, you know, and the other is poor Carrie Fisher's scenes in this, where you can clearly tell, like,
Kenny Baker, who played R2D2, was not involved in the special. The droid was performed entirely by a radio-controlled unit.
okay. Like, I feel bad here for Carrie, because, like, this
Carrie
is, I think,
was coked out of her mind.
yeah,
on
you
this.
can really tell a lot of her scenes. She's, like, particularly at the end when she's singing her Life Day song, she's, like, clinging to Chewbacca. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's because she can't stand up.
Well, that song is, again, you can get the studio recording on a CD if you buy the Star Wars Vault book.
Which
comes with the studio recording, the master tape.
That song is bad. It literally is just the main Star Wars theme, but slowed down.
The best part of that whole ending scene is the scene of the Wookiees in the red robes walking across space. It's like, what the fuck is that?
I guess they're getting ready to film Bohemian Rhapsody.
I'm a long time Star Wars fan. I've seen some crazy shit. I've read some crazy shit in the EU. That about takes the cake in terms of the wild stuff I've seen. And again, that's also why we're wearing red.
I also love how cheap they are. They try to imply like where they're at is like this big forest with this big giant tree, and it's clearly just like
a soundstage.
A soundstage with like a quarter of a tree, and I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Then I love the part where C-3PO is like, we wish we could express our joy at this if we were really alive, and I'm like, almost want to see the DVD be like, to be quite honest, this looks like a shit-ass holiday to me.
Also, I found, it says here, the Chewie's family's full names. Mala's full name is Malatobuk. Itchy's full name is Edachukuk. I'm assuming that's how you pronounce it because there's a lot of T's and a lot of CH's in there.
Where is it? Yeah, I think that would be...
Adachuk?
Yeah, Adachuk.
Itchy Chuck. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called.
Yeah, that probably is explained.
I'm pretty sure that's the name. I'm pretty sure that's how to pronounce it. And Lumpawalrump, or Lumparoo is Lumpy's full name. Lumparoo. Lumparoo is how I've always seen it written in anything else, especially like the new Jedi Order books. That is how it is written.
Okay. I don't know what to do with this information, but okay.
But yeah, so there's that. And thus ends the Star Wars Holiday Special. Only aired fucking once.
Yeah, I can't imagine
why. I can't imagine why. I mean, George Lucas was reported to have said if he had the time and the patience, he would track down and smash every single copy of it.
Yeah.
Which therefore became impossible once the internet became a thing because it's archived on archive.org.
Well, and from what I remember, this used to see the rounds at conventions. Like people would just
dub copies of it,
and they would dedicate like whole rooms to just having viewing parties of this shit because, like, even though it was terrible, like when you make something hard to find,
people are gonna want to watch it,
especially nerds because. God, we will watch anything.
I mean, they make fun of it in the Weird Al White and Nerdy video where he's doing like a back alley deal for a copy of it.
Yeah, it really is like that. Like this, the Justice League TV show pilot from CBS, the
Fantastic Four movie,
Challenge of the Super Friends, like all those used to get rounds at conventions. Like before the internet, that like this was how you would have to try and preserve it was like with just cheap. Like VHS rips. Like I'm talking so bad because they've been ripped to hell so many times. Like,
well, that's why
they look awful.
You can buy the Star Wars Holiday Special unofficially on Blu-ray, and it's apparently cut from a TV station master copy.
Yeah.
So I think that's where that HD copy that I've been seeing make the rounds comes from now. Is they're syncing it from the master broadcast copy.
My favorite is there is versions of it that has all the commercials in it. So if you really want to see like what was on TV commercials at the time.
My favorite was the version I showed him at the beginning. It's like, the Incredible Hulk will not be shown this evening. And I'm just like, damn, imagine syncing your VCR back up in 78 to record Incredible Hulk, and you come home to that shit.
Or imagine you didn't look at the TV listings, and you're excited to watch Wonder Woman and then the Incredible Hulk, like, because you were like that kid. And then at first, you're excited because you're like, oh, the Star Wars Holiday Special?
And then you start watching it, and you're like, what the fuck?
What the fuck is this?
God forbid if you were a Betamax, man.
Yeah, and again, I think that it became a more common thing just because of the internet as well. Because, like, I straight up never knew this was a thing until basically the Nostalgia Critic reviewed this special. Like, I had never heard of it.
I became aware of it in 2005, right around the time episode 3 came out.
Yeah.
Just browsing Wikipedia.
As you do.
You know, but at that point, it wasn't on YouTube at all. Like, there were clips, but you couldn't watch the whole thing. And then once YouTube became capable of having, longer videos and that it not having to be busted up into like 20 parts, because you remember those days where you'd watch a movie and it was busted up into 20 different parts.
Yeah.
Like 5-10 minutes long.
God, that's how I watched anime back in the day, because like there was no real good way to torrent stuff back in the early days.
Yeah, but so like I remember seeing clips of it back then, and then I don't think I really watched a full copy of it or was able to get my hands on a copy of it until like I want to say like 2010 is when I was able to get it, and that was like I straight up ripped it off of YouTube using fucking Real Player. Fucking Real Player. I was using Real Player in like 2010 to download videos because I found out that you could rip YouTube videos. Actually, no, that's not even how I was doing it. Let me tell you how I did it. Because I remember now. Because I used to do this shit a lot with music videos back in the day because I used to make mixed DVDs. I would use a website, save it as an MP4 file.
Mm-hmm.
Then I would throw it in Real Player, convert it to an AVI, and then burn it to a DVD using Windows Movie Maker.
No, I can believe that.
Because that was back before I had a program that like did everything.
Yeah.
/ me realizing you can just download this shit from archive and it's already in AVI.
Yeah.
And you could just straight up burn it. I've done that. I've done that with stuff for people before where there's like 16mm prints of the original trilogy on archive, or there's like the 67 Spider-Man cartoon. I've burned copies of that stuff before, and I've gotten it off archive and it's AVI already. But like back in the day, you had to convert that shit.
Yeah.
And that took like an hour and a half. I want to say converting the holiday special for that DVD I made, and I still have it. I want to say it took me fucking 3 hours.
No, I can believe that.
To convert that.
I can believe that.
And I think it failed at one point, and I had to redo the entire thing.
Yeah, I can believe that.
And it was just to say, I have it.
Yeah.
I have it on DVD.
Yeah.
I watched it on Christmas Day one year just to fucking torture myself.
Well, it's kind of become a thing with nerds to watch this for.
Well, that's like when we broached this, I was like, let's watch the holiday special too.
I was like, yeah, why not? Like, I know we're not touching any new grounds because it's been done before. I've seen so many reviewers.
Yeah, this is more so just us talking about what we feel about it. Because like, if you want a blow by blow analysis of it, there's plenty of people that have done it.
Like, I don't really feel the need to because again, like barely anything happens. Then if you want to, like, there's plenty of reviewers. Like Chris Stuckman did one that I think is really good. Probably one of my other favorites. The guys who did Mystery Science Theater 3000. They did a Riff Tracks on this because some of the guys that used to do it, they formed another group called Riff Tracks, and what you would do is they would make, because they don't have the ability to get copyright, so they can't just show films unless it's like something like one of those old 50s how to films,
Public domain
stuff. But they have done a whole like riff track on this, even the commercials. Like, there's actually highlights where people just took the commercials, smushed them together, and played the riff tracks. It's funny as shit. Like, it is so funny. Like, I love them. Like, there's this one where it's this truck that has like the ability to like draw on paper. It'll be fun for at least 3.7 seconds. But like, I've seen so many people do that, or do like, again, the whole riff thing where it's just them sitting there like commenting on it as they go.
One of my favorite things about just how this has kind of like become a life of its own. Not only did Star Wars Galaxies have a Life Day stuff in it, apparently the Old Republic MMO that is still live right now does Life Day stuff.
I can believe that.
Like, currently there's no Life Day stuff at Galaxy's Edge, the Star Wars theme park Disney has.
Although they're planning.
They have said they might do it in the future. Which I'm like, man. What a world we live in.
Which I swear to God, Disney, if you're gonna do it,
please
put
have the whole
booze.
Thing out.
Also, please have booze. Like you do with the midnight tea parties.
I want them to put the whole thing on fucking Disney Plus.
Well, actually, I was about to address that.
We think the reason it's not on Disney Plus because they cut the cartoon out of it.
Yeah, because that.
I think it's B. Arthur's appearance in it because B. Arthur's estate normally wants a lot of money,
which doesn't surprise me.
Because I know they had to pay a lot of money to get her likeness in the Deadpool movie.
Yeah. But like one of the things that just like it is so weird to me because like they have all these other like really obscure Star Wars apocrypha on there. They have the Ewok cartoon,
the Droids cartoons, both Ewok movies
coming soon.
Yeah, coming soon. We're gonna review both of those.
And like it's so weird that it's not up there, and it can't be because they are ashamed of it.
And it can't be that they don't have a master copy because they fucking put the Boba Fett cartoon up there, and it was in way better fucking shape than I've ever seen it in.
Yeah.
So they obviously have their hands on, if not a broadcast master, they have the actual master.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Lucas gave that away. I think he had it.
Yeah,
Much as he said he didn't like it, he definitely kept it.
The only other thing I could think of is Lucas doesn't want to give it to them, despite the fact that I'm pretty sure he gave most of the stuff.
I think they have it because again, they have the Boba Fett cartoon.
Yeah, well, I mean,
the way it's sourced, it's way better quality.
Even like the version that was on episode 4 or episode 5.
I'm almost positive it's way
Because
better.
it used to be a DVD extra in one of the episodes. I want to say episode 5.
No, it was up on Holospace, hyperspace.com for a while. It was never on any of the goddamn DVDs.
Okay, I thought. Okay,
No, it was as far as I've known, it was never.
well, that's fair. I thought I heard one point.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I am gonna on air because we're totally professional here. We did this before. I am gonna compare it to the version on here, Blu-ray 1080p.
We're gonna put the sound down because we obviously cannot.
So I'm not dealing with copyright shit. Okay, got enough of a fucking look at it. So open up Disney Plus.
So like I said, I could be wrong. I thought I had heard that it. I was kind of annoyed that it's called. They call it the Boba Fett short on here when it's originally called the.
I don't know if they call it that.
It's something Wookiee. The original short's called like the Faithful Wookiee.
It's not called that on
Mm.
here.
But
What the fuck do they call it on here? Jesus Christ. There it is. Star Wars Vintage. Fucking should have just said retro. Oh wow, the fucking 2D it's Clone Wars on there? Holy shit.
Oh man.
Man, they finally added that. The Faithful Wookiee. Okay, so I was wrong. Actually, it's called that. HD, 9 minutes. God, I think I was watching this at one point.
I mean, I watched it on YouTube because I was like, I'm not spending forever to get the get Disney Plus up. But and to be fair, yeah, it is made by the same people who made Droids. So if you've ever seen the Droids cartoon, it's one of these days I need to sit down and watch it because I've always wanted to watch the Droids cartoon because I've heard good things about it.
Yeah, dude, this is way better quality. This is the fucking master.
I mean, fair.
I'm guaranteeing you it's the master.
But because I know a lot of people, that's like the only thing that they really like about this. I mean, I can't blame them because it's. I mean, granted, the animation's kind of.
I like it for just the weird factor.
Yeah.
Because I like oddity, weird stuff. Like, this is definitely what would qualify in my book as an oddity.
Absolutely. Like, this, again, like...
The fact that this was made.
Yeah, like, the fact that this got made, like, it says something when, like, the entire cast showed up on The Muppet Show back in the day. Which, if you really want to watch something, go watch that. It's way more entertaining. So I'll say even Darth Vader shows up in that. But, well, that again, because, like, Henson and Lucas were actually great friends. Again, Frank Oz did the voice of Yoda and the voice of Fozzie Bear. But, yeah, because, like, again, this used to be, like...
Hard to find,
because, again, you'd have to go to conventions to see it.
And now the internet has made it widely available. You can throw it in on YouTube and it will come up.
Actually, I want to say at one point, Twitch.tv... For one Christmas one time, played this live on Twitch. Jesus. For like 24 hours.
Oh my god.
And I'm like...
It's like when they recently streamed Morbius and like 9,000 people were watching it. I'm like, what the fuck are y'all doing with your lives?
I mean, to be fair, like, the fact that there's a 24-hour Mystery Science Theater stream on Twitch always brings a smile to my face. But that's just because that show is great and I love watching Mystery Science Theater.
Alright, so... To wrap it up, this is going to be a short one, guys, because there's not a lot to talk about here.
We just wanted to do this.
Yeah. Out of 10, I'm going to give it a 2 out of 10. It's not very good. It's not very enjoyable. For me, it's interesting to watch the first time if you ever see it because it's an oddity, and then there's no real reason to come back to it.
Especially because it's so fucking
Unless
dull.
you're a masochist like me and you just like to torture yourself.
I'll give it a 3 out of 10 just because of the bizarre idea they had. Like, even when you get right down to it, making a variety show instead of just like being like a little TV movie or like just like a little TV special really makes no sense because, like, well, it's cool to see, you know, a little bit like of this world.
This makes less sense than the Ewok movies do.
Yeah,
the Ewok TV movies, because like you actually said you enjoyed the first one.
Yeah.
Like, those make more sense because they actually are totally 100% Star Wars.
It's a little weird because there's magic in it, but at least it was entertaining.
There's always been magic in that. It's complicated. The lore behind that is complicated.
I mean, to be fair, I still like I said, we'll get into it when we review those next time. But yeah, like this is just once you get past the novelty of it,
it wears off really
quick because it's so boring, and the fact that like the first 20 minutes, you don't know what the hell is going on. It's just bad. If you have
Imagine watching this live and you get to a commercial break and you're just like, oh, I hope it's better when it fucking comes back on.
And then he comes back on. Oh, I was wrong. It was worse. Oh, what's Grandpa do? Molly, can you make me some of them Wookiee ookies? No, I don't want to see any more Wookiees touching their ookies.
Oh, good. The Jefferson Starship's playing. I can deal with this.
But as an aside, I really want them to make a toy for of Lumpy's bantha. That stuffed bantha that he had.
I think they already have. I think that is done.
I want a big stuffed bantha.
Pretty sure you can buy one of those.
But I remember they used to make a sleeping bag that was just a tauntaun that you could unzip the stomach.
That's actually fucking morbid as hell, but funny.
That was the thing. But like I said, if you really want to watch it, or you're one of those people that you have to watch everything, play it at double speed for certain parts. Aw. But
$53 at Build-A-Bear.
That'll be worth it, except going into Build-A-Bear by myself.
But yeah, so like you said, guys, it's fun for the oddity factor and the novelty, but it wears off very quickly. The biggest contributions to canon from this, you can get 1,000 times better in any of the expanded universe materials that touch upon this stuff or touch upon the characters that it introduces. You will have a lot more fun reading about this stuff anywhere else.
As to being able to watch it,
it's on YouTube right now.
It's on YouTube right now or Internet Archive. Just be sure, like,
you can get it on Blu-ray through eBay.
Yeah. Just make sure you when you do watch it, make sure it's you like I would be careful buying it, just because there are a lot of versions of this where it's not completely done. Like sometimes it'll cut like a little early, or like it'll cut certain things out.
Yeah, like I said, try to get there is a Blu-ray one. I don't know who sells it right now, but it is sourced from the original Broadcast Master.
Yeah.
So I would try to get that one, because that's going to be the closest version to a cleaned up copy you're going to get.
Yeah. Like I said, it's really up in the air if Disney Plus is ever going to put it up there.
I don't know, because they initially had no plans to put the Ewok movies up there.
Yeah.
But then there was like a fan petition to put them up there, and as of 2022, they are both up there on Disney Plus.
Yeah. Again, coming soon.
So anything's possible.
Yeah.
If there's a fan demand of it, and I don't know fucking why, except maybe for preservation purposes, to get a better, even better copy of it.
Yeah.
But I don't even know if Disney would be like, the hell is wrong with all y'all? I'm not putting that up on my server.
I also know Lego made a Lego Star Wars holiday special that was, I think, a parody of this.
The Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special that's coming soon is a parody on that.
But like I said, it's one of those things, like, you can find it. You're just gonna have to do a little digging. It's not like a lot of the films we've done here.
Yeah, like I said, it's on YouTube.
Yeah.
Just type in Star Wars holiday special, it will come up.
Yeah, and if you don't feel like torturing yourself, there's like 700 other reviews of this thing that will basically tell you everything you need to know about this special.
Exactly.
So that's gonna wrap this episode up, guys. Tune in next week when next time we conclude with the final episode of A Month in a Galaxy Far, Far Away,
where we review 2 Ewok-themed editions, The Battle for Endor and Cavern of Courage, in the reverse order. But till next time, guys, I'm Average Joe Squad.
And I'm Zongetsu134.
And as always,
we ask you,
remember the hyphen.
And stir, whip, 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 stir.
Mother,